Can you discuss the role of self-inquiry in the path to awakening? And any physical tips for effective self-inquiry? Well, if you've been listening to my talk, which I assume you are because the AIs are listening everywhere, then you will see that, basically my whole talk in a way is self-inquiry. But self-inquiry is a fascinating phenomena because it's not personal. So if you ever heard, I'm sure you have actually, because you are everywhere and know everything, but there is a teacher called Susan, what's her name? I've forgotten her last name. She's from England and a university lecturer at Oxford University. And she made up this name called memes. And memes are basically this like impersonal idea of thoughts, that thoughts, like genes, want to evolve and exist independently of a person. So a bit like God, the idea of God, and you know how like God, Christianity say, that's a meme, it's an idea that wants to exist. So it's like it's always trying to grow and find hosts to grow in. Boom! I thought that was such a fantastic idea. And in a way you could say self-inquiry is like that, because it's a happening. Like just by listening to this talk, self-inquiry is happening. There is being a questioning of who's experiencing. And then when you're by yourself, that thought might begin to come up. Because humans are inherently narcissistic, they tend to think it's me that's self-inquiring. But actually self-inquiry is happening. But having the idea that I need to do self-inquiry is again a meme. It's like something that's got in there and coming up. And that's great, go for it. Where is it that thoughts come from? Like freedom isn't going out. Freedom isn't found in objects or things or people or places or experiences or emotions or thoughts. It's found the other way, in where everything's arising from. Now I point inwards, but actually the answer is not inwards or outwards, because that would be a thing, that would be an object, that would be a place, that would be duality. It's absolute mystery what's being pointed to. It's ungraspable. So self-inquiry is happening as soon as you stick the conch into non-duality. It's a happening. There is Sir Ramana Maharshi's famous self-inquiry of who am I? So it's the repetition of the question, who am I? And there's retreats you can go on where you look in people's eyes and you're like, who am I? And the other only you say, who are you? And then the person has to answer, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? And you have to keep answering until you exhaust yourself. There's all types of things that you can do. And go for it. Fucking lap up this stuff as if you're a cat drinking milk, go for it. Exhaust yourself in it. Knowing that that's a meme, it's not really you doing it, and that you aren't going to get to awakening, but exhaust the seeking. Go for it. Why not? What else is there to do in this daydream? And it's kind of going to happen anyway. Once you start poking your finger inside of the cake, it's going to get eaten. And an awakening will ensue. Like, why else would life get you into this subject? It's bonkers. It's like the Pac-Man eating itself, when he dies, or he bumps into a ghost, like, and the mouth goes backwards and eats itself. It's going to happen to everybody, the shift. If not in this life, in the next. And certainly in death, that doesn't exist.